Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to you. I'm so glad we're getting to dive into a truly powerful passage from the Quran's Surah Nisa today. It's one of those sections that gives us this incredible roadmap for what really holds a community together and, just as importantly, what can tear it apart from the inside out. But before we get into the text itself, let's just start with a big picture question, one that people have been wrestling with for ages. What is the real, ultimate test of any society? What makes it strong and gives it integrity? Is it about money or military might, or is it something else entirely? Well, what this passage suggests is that the answer lies in a society's moral foundation. These verses, you could say, act like a moral compass. They're a blueprint, really, designed to guide a community through all the tough challenges of building a truly just and unified society. All right, so let's get right into this blueprint. It all begins with its first and, maybe its most challenging foundational pillar, this non-negotiable principle of absolute justice. I mean, just stop and think about how radical this command is. This isn't just about being fair when you're judging other people. The text is demanding that you stand up for the truth, even if it means testifying against yourself or your own parents or your closest relatives. That is just an incredibly high bar for impartiality. So what's the biggest thing that gets in the way of this kind of justice? Well, the passage points to one main culprit. It's a key Arabic term, khawa. And what does it mean? It's basically all our personal stuff, our inclinations, our hidden biases, our ego, and what we want to be true. The text is basically saying that real justice means we have to rise above ourselves. So, what does this actually look like day to day? Well, first, justice isn't passive. It's something you have to actively stand up for and defend. Second, like we just saw, it applies to absolutely everyone, no exceptions for family. Third, it completely ignores social status. It doesn't matter if someone is rich or poor. And that's exactly why twisting your words or refusing to tell the truth is considered such a grave sin, because it just shatters the entire pillar of justice itself. But, you have to ask, where does a person get that kind of strength? The strength to uphold such a demanding code, especially when it might cost you personally? The text argues that it doesn't just come from laws on a page. No, it has to be anchored in something much, much deeper. And that brings us to the second pillar, sincere faith. You see, the passage draws this really clear line connecting our actions on the outside with our convictions on the inside. Standing for justice isn't just a civic duty, it's a direct reflection of what you genuinely believe deep down. The two are presented as totally inseparable, two sides of the same coin. And in verse 136, we get the bedrock of that foundation, the core articles of faith, or iman. It's belief in God, his angels, his books, his messengers, and in a final day of judgment. And the text is pretty clear here. To reject any one of these core beliefs is to have strayed a long, long way from the path. Okay, so if we have these two incredible ideals, absolute justice and sincere faith, then the passage turns its attention to diagnosing the main sickness that threatens them both. And that sickness is hypocrisy. What the verses do next is they paint this vivid contrast, a tale of two very different paths. On one side, you have the true believer, who seeks their honor from God and whose faith is sincere. But on the other side, you have the hypocrite, who's always looking for status and honor from worldly allies, whose faith is all for show and who is, at the end of the day, completely opportunistic. And the passage gets really specific about what this hypocritical behavior looks like. It's this constant wavering, never fully committed one way or the other. It's making treacherous alliances with outsiders against your own community just to get some worldly gain. It's sitting in gatherings where divine revelations are being mocked. And even acts of worship like prayer become a performance, done lazily and only so other people will see you do it. The Quran uses this incredibly powerful medical metaphor here. It describes hypocrisy not as some simple character flaw, but as a disease in the heart. It's like a spiritual sickness of doubt and deceit that, if you don't treat it, just gets worse and worse over time. And the warning that follows this diagnosis, well, it's blunt and it's direct. For those who insist on staying on this path of treachery and deceit, the text states the consequence is the most severe one imaginable. Wow, that's a heavy warning, isn't it? It's really sobering to think about. But right at this moment, the entire tone of the passage pivots. It raises this implicit question: is judgment the end of the story? Is there no hope, no way back for those who have fallen into this state? And thankfully, the answer is a powerful, resounding no. After diagnosing the disease and warning of the outcome, the text shifts its focus entirely to the cure. It lays out this beautiful, clear, and merciful path to redemption. This is the part that shows us that the door to mercy is never, ever locked. Verse 146 gives us a clear four-step process for a way out. 1, to genuinely repent and turn back. 2, to follow that up by correcting your actions. 3, to hold on tight to that connection with God. And 4, and this is so critical, to purify your intentions, making your faith sincere for God alone. And the promise here isn't just about wiping the slate clean. It's something even more profound. The text says that for those who sincerely make this change, God's mercy is so vast that he can actually transform their past misdeeds into good deeds. I mean, just think about that. It's a powerful message of hope and complete transformation. And the entire passage builds up to this absolutely stunning, rhetorical question, one that reframes the whole discussion away from fear and toward love and mercy. What would Allah do with your punishment if you are grateful and believe? The suggestion is that the ultimate divine desire isn't to punish, but to be met with our gratitude and our sincere belief. What a truly powerful thought to end on. Thanks for joining me for this deep dive.